Hey there, Blade Gang. This old sword's back with you once again. And you blade lovers out there, I know you do like your fancy knives, even though you may have a EDC that you like to beat up pretty often and get a lot of use out of. These are sort of safe queens, I suppose you could call them. But they do see a little bit of pocket carry, and I think that this is the round three, by the way, of three of these types of collection videos I've done this year in 2023. And now that we've gotten into November, we're winding down, and maybe we'll even do a year-end wrap-up of my favorite knives of 2023. We'll see. But let's see what we've got on the table here. We've got the final five in the third video on the topic. Where do I begin? Well, I'm going to begin with probably the priciest knife on the table. This is a Rike, and this is simply called the S05. Yes, S05. I think they're competing for fancy names with Tucson, probably. This has this, and you've seen this before if you've watched my video that I did solely on this particular knife. And it is referred to as, it's it's a Damascus, and it is has a unique pattern to it. I'm gonna have to check my crib notes. Yeah, it was hiding from me. Pattern Damascus, mosaic Damascus, mosaic, of course, kind of like mosaic tiles. But this is made from a combination of Damascus steel that has been somehow strangely welded into these patterns by using individual little wires of different metals. And I have a little more information for you if you watch the whole video on this S05 Rike. But I can tell you that it has Mokutai clip, which is a swirled titanium. It has a Mokutai backspacer with brass or bronze surrounds, I guess you'd call it. Kind of lost it with this knife for names of things, as you can evidently hear. And we have a Mokutai pivot on one side that has the Rike emblem in there. So fancy schmancy. It is one of the top knives that I have in production. Again, these are all production knives. And you can see that, yes, the Damascus goes all the way through the steel. So this is not just something that's embossed on the surface, as some people have remarked in other reviews of this knife. And yes, you can see Chinese characters in there too. And I think somebody told me when I did the review initially that it meant prosperity, long life, that kind of a thing, I believe. And dwelling on the land. Just look at that, though. I mean, as far as Damascus goes, it's hard to find something that's been engineered any better than this, in terms of complexity, at least. There's a lot of nice Damascus out there, certainly. But this is just extraordinary, I find. And for a knife that runs well over 500, yes, list, it is certainly a beauty. We've got blue hardware. It is a frame lock. It has a fantastic action, as you can just see. And again, that is the Rike. And Rike, by the way, is the company that made the SOCOM Bravos for Microtech. I'm going to back out a little bit and see if we can find a space for everything here. Well, next up is the Centauri. It's named after a star, I believe. This is a artisan cutlery design by Rike S05. He is known for using these deep fullers on the sides of the handle. And this one is in their Damascus steel, kind of a billet Damascus, made of stainless. By the way, the other one is stainless as well. And if you look that knife up on Rike, it will give you the entire story on that steel. Just look up, I guess, Catos is the American website that handles Rike knives. They will tell you all about the S05. I'll see if I can leave you a link about that. And I'm also not promising that all of these knives will be available at the time you see this. Again, this is my collection. I'm not a store. A lot of people do complain from time to time that, and it's not very often, but they say, I can't find the knives you're showing here. Why show them if I can't buy them? And I guess it boils down to the fact that I'm not trying to be a merchandising outfit. I do help promote some knives, but they may not always be available because these are knives I collect as well. Occasionally I get sent knives for review by the manufacturers, and I state it when that occurs. None of these fall into that category, though. So here we have a very nice, rich carbon fiber handle. I would call that kind of a shred carbon fiber, I would call it. Titanium on one side, carbon fiber on the other. It's a fairly light knife because it is solid carbon fiber on one side with that frame lock on the other. And a very nice clip, by the way. And a front flipper only, but it's one that I can easily manipulate, which is pretty unique. Kind of a sheep's foot style blade with a swedge. Just, again, eye candy. Lots of eye candy with these knives, for sure. Here's an oldie but goodie, and no, this is not available anymore, but you may be able to find it on the secondary market. This is the WE Straight Up. Yeah, WE Straight Up. I want you to first notice what they did with the WE logo. They made a Chinese sort of a pattern out of it, like you might see on some ancient stuff. And there's the WE logo, and you can see how they just basically repeated it all the way through. It's raised, and it's kind of a bronzed color over the blue anodization. Interesting how they're able to do that. We have a milled titanium clip that is deep carry, and you seldom see that. It's a little tight, not the easiest thing to carry depending upon the pants you're wearing, but particularly because this stuff's pretty rough here. This really drags, almost like jimping, because it is raised. But if you can get past that and you have thin enough pants, I think this would slip in and out of the pocket quite nicely. You got a nice ramp on both ends there. Got a beautiful brass inset lanyard pin. And let's look at the blade. Oh yeah. Now that is what I would call a tanto blade. That is a traditional tanto blade. And what you've got here, beyond this blackened finish, which is a beautiful finish, by the way, just a little smooth and not chalky or anything, not too shiny. This goes down to what they call a 0-degree edge. So, especially right here, just like a samurai sword, there is no abrupt bevel. It just goes from here down to the edge, and it is razor sharp. Here we have a traditional bevel. And we got a little bit of a finger choil there, little bit of one. You can sort of sneak your finger in there, but it's not a full choil. And as I said, it is a frame lock and reasonably drop shutty, I would say. Only thumb studs, and this is back when they were using these star patterns for all their screws. So star, and it comes with a star bit. Yes, it does, which allows you to loosen the pivot and take the screws out for the hardened steel insert and the clip. It's crazy. And yet there's nothing, no screws on the show side. And the thumb stud is switchable over to the other side. Unfortunately, the clip is not switchable. Can't get this fancy, and always provide a left-hand option for the clip as well. But that's the straight up. Forget the Wii model. I'm sure it's got a number, but you know, any of this stuff, you throw a query out on the web and you should be able to find it. This is the Kansept Kratos or Kratos. It's an O-stop hell design. And look at this Damascus. Isn't that crazy? Only problem with this one is they sort of interrupted that beauty with the Kansept logo, and hold your eyes. We've got O-stop hell's name on the flat on the other side. Which you can sort of see. It's sort of, you know, laser etched in there. I think it interrupts the beauty of that blade. And this is kind of a backwards tanto, not a reverse tanto, but a tanto where we've got that transition way back here instead of out front. We've got kind of a spear point out front with a swedge. And this is what they call a rose pattern carbon fiber. If you look carefully, you can see little flowers in there. And a pretty decent clip, not deep carry, but a very nice titanium clip that is possibly switchable. I haven't tried it. Let's see. It's one screw, and I haven't taken the clip out, unfortunately, but I'm thinking usually when we got one screw, this is keyed in. So this is, the handle slabs are cut in, and I don't see that over here. So I'm going to say that is not a switchable clip. I think the Kratos, however you want to pronounce it, is still available if you check out Kansept's website or some of the dealers. Pretty smooth jimping, I'd say fairly useless. It looks nice, but there's just no grip there whatsoever. But again, it's a show knife. But I do know people that carry fancy knives on a daily basis. So you may want to get it and do that. Last and certainly not least, you have an Eric Oakes design here. And this is by the Wii Knife Company. And this is the, I've got to check the notes again. I was going to say it's like the Sexy or something like that, but no, it's the Curvaceous. Don't you want a Curvaceous knife? I think so. You know, if you can't get the Curvaceous lady, you can get the Curvaceous knife. Or maybe you can get them both, if you're lucky. That's a cool Persian design that is both Persian and a tanto. I got it because it's just such a cool grind. I mean, you got a hollow up in here, pretty pronounced hollow, and we've got a flat here. Steel on this guy is just a straight steel. I believe it's S20V. Yes, it's S20V. There's Eric's name, OCHS. And he is a great designer and has his own company putting out some really tremendous designs. This one feels really good in the hand. I mean, for a fancy knife, it feels like a user, I'll put it that way. If you want to creep forward onto that guard, you can. And it is a frame lock. It does have a beautiful shred carbon fiber on both sides, thank God. I hate it when they only put the carbon fiber on one side, as with the Centauri. But for that one, we give them an exception because the one whole handle side is carbon fiber. Rather than this one where we have these very large, sizable titanium bolsters. Titanium clip, titanium frame, and plenty of blade there. Again, I think because of this groove for the finger groove, if you want to call it that, and with that forward stop, it feels really good because your hand really locks in, and then this curve up here holds all the fingers in. It's not a small knife by any chance. It is like a 3.6 inch blade and 8.5 inches overall. And the point just got stuck in my tape. Should watch it before I do that. End up scratching up the tip. Oh no. Anyway, that's the Curvaceous designed by Eric Oakes. And if we can get just a little more room here, we'll give them all to you at once. Once again, we've got the S05 by Rike with that patterned Damascus. We've got the Centauri, but by Artisan Knives, designed by Ray Laconico. We've got the Straight Up by We, no longer made. Got the Kratos by designed by Ostap Hell and made by Kansept. And we've got another We, the Curvaceous, designed by Eric Oakes. Hope you enjoyed this foray into eye candy knife. It's been a long day. Hope you enjoy this. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. I'll be back with you soon.